Guys, we're back with another product, but first we got to crack open an ice cold Celsius. Minerals, vitamins, fat burner, it's all in there, right? I'm not sponsored by Celsius, but if you see this, hook a boy up, man. I drink enough of these things before every gig and pretty much every day. But back to our program. We are back from our friends at Melonare. You saw the SD2 product that we reviewed. We used it, it was an IEM, but we used it as a wireless speaker. I will post a link to that in the description of this video. But they reached out, they sent us another product. They said, hey, we loved your last video. We want to send you our MWM 414B. Check this thing out, guys. It is 4 body packs in 1 receiver. You want to know what the best thing is? 240 foot range. 240 feet. As you know, in my garage on all my microphone tests, we always go down to the end of the block in the cul-de-sac. That is 440 feet. On the SD2 from Melonare, they say 168 feet is range, and we got all the way 440. No problem. Trees, cars, everything blocking. But this is like their latest thing. This might be my new ceremony setup. 4 body packs, 1 receiver. Of course, on the back of the receiver, it does have the 4 XLR outputs so that you can go into 4 different channels and control the volume. However, it does have a mix out on the back of this, and that's what we're going to be using, obviously, because I'm not bringing out a mixer and hooking up 4 XLRs and controlling them. I just want to see how far I can get, what the sound quality is on this thing, and just to read you some stuff on the back right here. So cardioid pattern, unidirectional directivity, 600 ohm impedance, and we've got a signal to noise ratio of 96 decibels. So feels pretty heavy. So it looks like just like the SD2, we might be getting into some quality stuff. So this is it right here. They reached out, want us to review it. I was gonna put it on my little spin thing, but we don't need to do that. I wanna go ahead and get straight into this and unbox this with you guys. Let you see what all is inside of this thing. Now here's what impressed me the most. Of course, in user manual, right? But right off the bat, you're greeted with 4 headsets. That is crazy. And 4 lavaliers. So you get both. I don't know, I'm not gonna utilize the headset for this test just because I don't wanna wear a headset in this Texas heat. But check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 headsets and 4 lavaliers. Not only that, guys, it's not like the cheap ones. It's got the actual 3-pin little mini XLR input. So that is pretty cool. It feels pretty robust. And I like that it's not like super heavy. I mean, super big. You know, most of these, they give you this huge windscreen that looks really crummy plugged onto you. This one's really thin. And the headsets actually feel pretty quality too. Let me get these untangled. So as you can see here, again, a nice headset. And let me do this just to test this out. Am I doing this right? I don't think I've ever really worn a headset. So this would go over and then this would come up right above your mouth. So right there, that's not too bad. Then you can bend this. I like that. I like that it's got a little hook right here to hook over your ear. That's not bad. Looks pretty streamlined. This would obviously go down the back of your shirt. I mean, this is pretty nice. You get your live sound right here instead of relying on a lapel or a shirt. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, okay. What else do you get in the box? So unwrapping this, looks like your power supply. So just 1 power supply, standard power supply, right? With the 5-volt jack on it, right there. Perfect. And then the main thing, right? So we got the receiver. Nice weight, just like the SD2. So as you can see here, let that focus in right there. Got your 1, 2, 3, 4, your power button. So this is a plug and go. Like there is no scanning. Now you can select channels that you want to be on and different frequencies within that channel, but there is no scanning. And as I mentioned before, there's your 4 XLRs and your mix out and your power. Yeah, your mix out. We're gonna use mix out, 1/4 inch mix out, straight into an Everse 8. And we're gonna use one mic. And as mentioned, so this feels like metal. Yeah, that's metal. This is plastic, I think, the bottom. Antennas are already on there for you. As you can see, they're nice and sleek on the back, so you could tuck this into a Pelican case or a Harbor Freight case. Let me see what the knobs feel like. Knobs feel, they don't feel as good as the SD2. They're kind of easy. Like, so I picture if you bump this maybe a little bit, I would like for them to be maybe a little more taut or maybe clickable. Power button feels good. Then on the bottom, right here, you have your 4 lavaliers. Oh, there goes that. 4 body packs right there. And you get 8 batteries. And then there's your 1/4 inch cable. So that's the one we're gonna utilize. So let's look at one of these one of these body packs. Melonare always nicely packages their products. And this is the body pack. So it looks like it has a nice big screen. Again, a nice taut belt clip. I like that a lot. Antenna does not come off, so that's already on there. And then it looks like you have an on-off switch here. So there is no mute, I guess. Oh, yeah, the mute's on the inside. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I would love to have a mute on top because obviously if I'm wearing it, I'm not gonna be able to open this. What if my batteries fall out? I would love to have like a mute button on the top. So on and off on the top, it would be cool to have like a mute button there, but the mute is actually here. So you have to open that. And then your set button, once you find your frequency and your channel that you like, that's where you would hit your set button. Only drawback so far is that mute button. Okay, so here it is up close and personal. I've got it powered up. I don't have it turned on though. It's got a red light here. I've got all the independent volumes turned down. Now the body pack that I chose right away, when I turn it on, it does say D33, right? So 33 would be the channel that I'm on, or the frequency, and D would be the channel that I'm on. I've got it turned all the way down. Let's turn it on. It'll light up blue once we are powered on. And it's just connect and go, guys. So if I wanted to go into here, right, I've got 10 adjustable frequency channels that I can go into here. And I can, let me see what it looks like when I mute it. Okay, so it just blinks when it's muted. Muted, is that what I just said? Muted, muted. 2 AA batteries, pretty cool. They gave it to you in the package, fully charged too. So yeah, when you mute it, blinks. Honestly, if it were me, I would just turn it off to mute myself if I wasn't sure if I wasn't turned down back at the control station, and then turn it back on. So here, I did kind of run a test before we cut to this part of the video. I did have to, on the Everse 8, I had to turn it up to +10. And then on here, I had to go pretty high. Check, check, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, check, check, 2, 2, 2, check, check. And that's coming through on the Everse 8. So I have to go all the way up. Now, think about this, guys. In reality, you would probably hook this up to an external mixer. That way you get more control over the gain, the compression, and all that kind of stuff. So in reality, I would probably go about 3 o'clock on this and then use my external mixer. Now, if you came in a pinch and you needed this just to hook up to an external speaker like I have here, then yeah, you can just adjust the volume on the back of the Everse. But I did have to go up to +10. And I do have the Everse channel set to speech. That way we're getting the best possible sound. So I'm all the way up there. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it sounds crystal clear. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. That's just because I'm turned all the way up on the Everse. I'm turned all the way up on the Melonare receiver, and I'm turned up to +10, and I'm standing right in front of the speaker. So I'm getting just a tad bit of feedback, but it's not too bad. But this is really, really crisp, really clear. There's no dropouts, there's no static. And I'm gonna put this behind my back as if I was blocking my transmitter from the receiver, and I'm still picking up great sound. Yeah, so and in all reality, I'm going to be honest with you. I know I said I wasn't going to wear the headset, but I actually am wearing the headset just because I wanted to get it as close to my mouth as possible. And it sounds really good. I'm barely even showing any volume levels on here, which is cool because that means I'm going to go up to 12 and I get that kind of that kind of feedback. I'm going to leave it at 11. And the main volume, I have it at 0, so we're good there. Quarter inch into quarter inch, it would be better with XLR, but I don't have XLRs laying around today, so we're going to leave it as that. And 1 DC in, yeah, I kind of hearing that humming. Now, this would be great for like an officiant, you know, because a lot of times they're wearing either a boutonniere, or I've even come into contact with some officiants that don't even wear jackets. And it's hard to put that in there and then disguise the wire just with a shirt, unless you run it underneath their collar, down their back, and tape it with some medical tape or something like that. But this sounds really good because it's right here in front of my mouth. So what I want to do now is, as you know, I want to take that walk. I'm going to leave this camera recording. I'm going to bring you guys with me, and then we'll see when it drops out, when it cuts out, if it cuts out. Just up on a table there, and we're going to take a walk all the way down the end of the block. Like I said, that is 440 feet all the way down that cul-de-sac road to the end of my neighbor's driveway down there. And they say this gets 240 feet. So I won't be able to hear it, but when we come back, we'll be able to see the video when it started cutting out, and then I'll be able to Google map it where I think I was, to see if we get that 240 or if we get 440. If we get 440, Melonare is going to love this video. So let's open the garage. This Texas heat's going to kill me, but I'm doing this for you guys, and see what the MWM 414B really can do. All right, guys, so I've got the headset on, and I like this, that you can actually bend it to come right over your mouth. So we're going to take a walk all the way down that end of the street. That's 440 feet all the way down to the dead end of that cul-de-sac. So we're going to take a walk all the way down there. This camera right here will keep rolling to see how far it picks us up. So let's walk. I'm sure my neighbors are probably used to this by now. And I won't be able to hear how far we can actually get. And I have the transmitter in my transmitter is in my pocket, and I can't hear anything right now, so I don't know if I'm actually picking anything up or not. But I'm just gonna walk in right there. That's where the receiver is at. It's actually not today. That receiver is not even elevated. Yeah. in with me. The mic. Just have a conversation. Walking. We keep talking. Me. I'm you. At best. Stevie. Talking. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. And I'm hearing it now because I'm literally like right at the edge of my driveway. Keep talking. I can hear it right here, okay? So, yeah, we're just gonna have to review the video and see. It sounds crystal clear though, right here. I swear, if y'all don't drink Celsius, y'all are missing out. So right here, right? Everse hooked in, mix out. I'm just going straight into mix out, coming out into input 1, right there. So, I mean, overall, it sounds fantastic. It sounds really good. I mean, I would use this for ceremony, especially the headset. I think you don't really feel it. You don't feel like something is snapped onto your skull. And I like that. It's real comfortable. Like I said, the right ear has a little hook so that it stays attached to your ear. But I'm not sure how the camera is picking up the sound, but here in front of me, this sounds phenomenal. Very clear. And if I raise my voice, like some pastors do, you know, they read a passage in the Bible and, you know, they get loud, they get a little boisterous out there, and I don't hear any crackles, I don't hear any, you know, any kind of static or anything like that, but this sounds really, really good. And like I said, the only thing that concerned me at first was that I had to turn this all the way up and then that up, but in reality, I would probably have that hooked up to at least a 4-channel mixer, you know, the YAMAHA MG06, something like that. Yeah, guys, and look, I had this transmitter in my pocket the whole time, so it was blocked by not only my body, but clothing, and it was down low. So, you know, this is down low. This is probably 3.5 feet all the way down it in the block with my wife's truck blocking trees, other cars, and then just distance overall. And who knows what other wireless stuff is running. So as I mentioned, the only drawback was the mute button is on the inside, right? So if it were me, I would just use the on-off button, and I'm gonna show you what that sounds like now. So now we are fully on. And if this was on my hip, or in my case, in my pocket, I would just reach into my pocket, and now I'm totally off. So you can see that's just quick. Why would, if I was in the middle of a speech, why would I take it out? Oh, hey, sorry guys, let me stop y'all for a minute. Let me mute my mic. That looks tacky. You know, if it's on my hip, I can just feel that knurled switch on top, turn it on, within 2 seconds, I'm live. So let's do that again. Okay, so now I'm off. I'm gonna switch it on and let's count to see how long it takes to come live. Ready? 1, 2, I'm live. 2 seconds, I'm live. And what's even better is when you turn it off, it's instant, right? So we're gonna keep talking. I'm gonna say something like, here I go, I'm going to turn off the mic and I'm dead, right? I was dead within a second. So I like that. Overall, the sound quality coming out of this is nice. So that tells me that this microphone here, with the wiring that they're using and that dedicated mini XLR, I'm glad it's not like a 3.5 millimeter or anything like that. It's nice. It feels secure, it locks, it has a button that can only be pulled out. If you press that button, it releases the XLR pins on the inside, and I like it. And as you remember from the SD2, I'm kind of picking up that little bit of feedback, but like I said, it's not too bad. They have an email address that if you have any issues, they value your input, and you email them direct about the issues that you're having, and they will take care of it for you immediately. As a matter of fact, you know, I have the SD2 right here still. This is the one they sent me last, and this product right here, guys, was solid. I cannot say enough good things about this system. This is an IEM, but as you see in my last video, I used it as a wireless speaker. So I put the body pack on the Everse 8, and I walked all the way down there and picked up sound perfectly. So they're making quality products. I can't wait to see if they have something else they want me to review, because so far this is 2 for 2. I'm going to bat for Melonare in an instant. The owner's manual, the user manual has a lot of good things in it. It tells you how to switch channels, switch frequencies, but it's plug and play. It tells you right on the box it's plug and play. You shouldn't have to do anything. Now, if you get to a venue and there's videographers, photographers, somebody else using wireless or Wi-Fi or anything like that, and you get some interference when you're testing, yeah, you're gonna wanna go in there and select channels. But as far as like ceremonies go, most of the time we're out here in South Texas. We're usually out in the heat in an open air ceremony place, and there's no Wi-Fi, there's no nothing like that out there, no wireless. The worst thing that you can come across is videographers. They put lapels on the groom and on the minister as well. And sometimes those are not 2.4, but they're actually selectable frequencies like UHF. And those might cause some interference, but that's why it's always good just to test it first and see what you're dealing with. But overall, I give this 5 stars out of 5 stars. You know, it's a great product. I can't wait to use it. I will be using this at a ceremony coming up pretty soon. I want to see what this can take at a real life environment. So thanks again for Melonare for sending this out to us. We appreciate it, and we hope to see more great products from them coming out very soon. We appreciate you guys watching the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know what you think about this. Hey man, I accept all negative comments too. You could tell me it's garbage, it looks like hot trash, whatever. If you have it, I accept that. Let's talk about it. Let's see what kind of experiences you've had with the same products that I love, right? If you have bad situations that you've had with this, let me know. I would love to see and maybe create that same scenario. Anyways, thanks again for checking it out. I'll see you on the next one.